brothers and sisters. I was checking out this documentary about the rise of AI, deep learning. Pretty sure most of you heard of that. This software represents the end-time beast system, which is rising. This guy here is explaining what's going on. And I want y'all to check this out on your own. The whole video. I'm just going to show a little portion of it so you can get an idea where we're at in these end times.
And when you think about it, there's the oh my gosh moment. The first example is done in NVIDIA research. What's happening here is a form of computer graphics that's photorealistic but takes a long time. It's called ray tracing. We're simply literally following a ray of photons as it bounces all over the room, eventually coming into our eyes. Well, it takes a long time to literally trace each one of those photons. And that's why when you see those white dots and black dots, that's when the computer graphics is not complete. Well, we taught an artificial intelligence network how to finish the job. And the way to think about that is, if
I'm going to go up to about 18 minutes.
Picture. I bet all of you could figure out what is the best color to put into that dot. Somehow, we figured it out in our brain. Well, we taught a computer how to do the same thing, and it literally filled in the noise. Imagine what you could do with this thing. Using the same auto-encoder architecture, you can now take an image that is very low in resolution and enhance its resolution. From absence of information, we can create information that fundamentally breaks information theory. From the absence of information, we can create information, which is what's happening there. And so you can increase resolution. If you have a photograph that's ruined, parts of it was ruined, we can go back and fix it. Just by you looking at it, if you could figure it out, we can probably teach an artificial intelligence how to do the same thing. Here's another one.
Listen up. Train your warehouses is our main objective. Alexei, you and your men will do that. You have to go in and out very quick.
The avocado is a pear-shaped fruit with leathery skin, smooth edible flesh, and a large stone.
And so this is what's happening.
The avocado is a pear-shaped fruit with leathery skin, smooth edible flesh, and a large stone.
So this is what's happening.
Listen up. Train your warehouses.
If I could just get you to stop. So this is what's happening. Imagine lip reading. You learn how to look at the animation of somebody's face, and you can imagine the words that is being said. This is the inverse of lip reading. We had the artificial intelligence network look at a whole bunch of videos of somebody talking, and from it, it can now infer what is the animation of the face from the words spoken. What is the animation of the face from the words spoken? Okay? Like lip reading, except backwards. This one is called pose estimation. Pose is your 3D posture. How are you posed? How are you positioned in 3D space? Well, we have to teach, if you were to look at a video, you can probably infer what is the pose of that character in 3D space. However, how do you teach an artificial intelligence network to do that? How do you write software to look at a bunch of ones and zeros in a video and recognize where is the person and what is that person's three-dimensional pose? From 2D to 3D pose. If we were able to do that, we can recreate that character in 3D world looking at the video. So shining a camera on top of me,
Pay attention to what they are creating.
beam me into virtual reality. So imagine the holodeck next time. There'll be a video camera, just looking at me, and somehow I warp into this virtual reality world. Wrench is doing amazing work in post-estimation. This is really cool. This is a 3D animation character. This is a virtual reality character. And based on whatever you throw in front of it, it figures out what's the best way to animate, to navigate the course. You see what's happening? So it learned how to climb, learned how to hop off, all completely based on artificial intelligence. And smart enough not to walk into that. And as it tiptoes through this little tiny bridge, just like we would do. A virtual character taught AI. And then this last one, before I show it to you, it's a robot that learned from an example. This is Peter Abiel's work at UC Berkeley. He goes into virtual reality. He shows the robot how to stack bricks just a few times with just a few examples. This is what I want you to do. Stack bricks. And now, it doesn't matter where the bricks are located. Robot figured it out. One-shot learning, imitation learning, basically how we learn. So this is the actual robot stacking actual bricks, and this is how it learned it in virtual reality. Okay, just some examples of what AI is able to do. None of these examples have we been able to write software to overcome for the longest time. Just imagine writing software to solve these problems. And now finally, we use this artificial intelligence approach called deep learning. We feed it tons and tons of information, and somehow these deep neural nets learned. Well, the work that is being done in deep learning is literally all over the world. There are just so many researchers doing deep learning work, and we're just delighted that we are the deep learning platform for modern AI.
Listen to this part.
All kinds of platforms that are being used, all kinds of frameworks and tools that are being used. PyTorch and Paddle of China, Chainer of Japan, MXNet that Amazon uses, Cafe2 that Facebook uses, Microsoft's Cognitive Toolkit, CNTK, Theano, and TensorFlow from Google. The number of industries that are advancing AI in research and now in startups all over the world. We're working with some close to 2,000 startups all over the world in all these different industries, all developing on the NVIDIA platform. Now, our strategy and our commitment is to continue to advance with all of our might the ability to develop better, smarter, more complex AIs faster. Now, the reason why, even though we've advanced computing now, advanced AI research by a factor of 100 in the course of the last 4 years, we've improved performance by 100 times in 4 years' time. Deep learning has been completely revolutionized because of the GPUs. However, we believe that we need to improve the performance by so much more. And the reason for that is simply this. We want to make it possible for these AIs to learn how to write software itself, but to have AIs create AIs itself. And therefore, we need these massive supercomputers just churning away, trying all these different types of algorithms, and having software write software by itself. Just 2 weeks ago, just about the entire world's computer industry adopt the Volta, our latest generation GPU. Volta is now available in every single cloud on the planet, from Azure to Google Cloud to Amazon Web Services, Alibaba, Baidu, Tencent. It's available everywhere, anywhere on the planet. As a result, all of these startups that are working on NVIDIA's platform no longer need to build their own supercomputer. They could go rent one in the cloud. And as they grow and their workload continues to increase, at some point they might decide to buy their own supercomputer. And every single computer company in the world now offers the NVIDIA Volta GPU for their GPU servers. From IBM, HP and Dell, Cisco, Lenovo, and Huawei. Basically, the NVIDIA GPU is everywhere. It's everywhere in every computer, every single PC, in every single region, available in every single cloud. And so we're going to commit to continue to advance this computing platform. The fact that we have one architecture makes it possible for your software development and for the company that you create to be able to enjoy growth every place on earth.
Now, do you see what they are creating? You remember the Terminator and Skynet? They are creating this artificial intelligence, which is a part of the beast system, which will be in every system on the earth. We haven't reached that just yet, but we're getting there. They're already giving you smart televisions, smart refrigerators. Pretty soon, all of your appliances are going to be online. They have access to all computers. They're putting these smart grids up. They're putting up 5G right now. We are not quite yet ready for the coming of Hamashiach. I wanted to show y'all this because a lot of you don't know that a lot of the prophecies have to be fulfilled before Hamashiach return to gather us and bring us back to our land. And all of that is not going to happen within 1 year and 6 months. So rethink who you're believing in when you attach yourself to some man-made prophecy. Because a lot of our brothers and sisters are downhard believing to the core of their heart and willing to die for it that our slavery and captivity began in 1619. That's when the first slave ship sailed of the transatlantic slave trade. And in 2019, that's when our captivity will be over, which means Hamashiach has to show up. If you go by what they're saying, Hamashiach has to show up in 2019. But yet, all these other prophecies have yet to come to pass. This is where Zion is in trouble at. Believe in every man, believe in every wind of doctrine that come along. I wanted to show y'all this because I wanted y'all to see that this beast system is yet in place. They are working on it right now. They are coming together as a complete whole right now. These Gentiles are building their own destruction, don't even see it. So I'm going to leave it at that. Put your comments in the comment section and let me know what you think. Shalom.